Ever wondered how rough life was in the Old West? What about a mining town or a ghost town? How difficult are cattle drives? How is life on the western frontier? I will answer most of these questions and more starting right now. The Old West, possibly the bucket list thrill of a lifetime. Even though some of these are possibly extinct, they may still exist. You just got to look for them. There are fake old Western experiences out there that you can visit. Some of these vacations happened in the past and may be extinct right now. I'd say probably 2 of them on my list. But, just for the entertainment value, let's talk about them. So the first one that I would like to talk about would be a ghost town. Ghost towns are mining towns. They're old settlements. It could even be an old fort. And ghost town experiences are fun. You have one in Saragordo. You have Bodie, California. I think there's 2 of them out in Nevada. There's one up in Cody, Wyoming. There's all kinds of them in Wyoming. But to live the experience inside of some of these ghost towns, a lot of them are not meant for visitors. A lot of them are just to sit there and show and collect dust. But not the guy that's over there in Saragordo. He wants people to come up and experience the way of life as it was as a mining town. To go and hike on the trails. To go and read in the mine shaft library that he built. He's currently working on rebuilding and strengthening some mine shafts so people can be able to walk through and see what an actual mine shaft was from back then. He also wants to try and restore the buckets so you can be able to see the overhead bucket trams going up and down the hill to be able to transport, lead and silver. Saragordo is a silver town, and that's what you do is you mine silver. So that's what I'm really talking about is, to be able to experience a ghost town as how it was perceived when it was at its prime. There's people that go in and buy a ghost town and to fix it up and to put modern electricity in, modern water in, and then add a fancy bistro and pave the streets and say, okay, come to my ghost town. It's now a town. It's not a relic of the past. It's not preservation. And that's what people are seeking. That's the thrill that people are seeking. So this next one right here, I have done several times. It may be extinct right now. However, if you look for it, you may find it. This is the toughest part of the Old West. This is the toughest part around the globe. You may have to go into Canada. You may have to go into, it may still exist in the United States. You may have to go into Mexico. You may have to go into South America or over into England and to be able to find these. And yes, that is an old-fashioned cattle drive. This is the point where they take a herd of cattle and they're going to run, on average, this herd of cattle for 1,000 to 1,500 miles to their final destination. And in modern ages, the cattle drive, they're in a cattle truck. But I would probably about the 70s or the 80s, it was to be ran down into, the slaughterhouse. And because they're in the I just went by to my wife. They go into a slaughterhouse. Now, the reason they're doing a cattle drive to go into this slaughterhouse, well, the cows are all fattened up, they're all ready to go, but they want good quality lean meat. But the best way to be able to do that is to be able to run the drive. A lot of cattle drives went from up in the Dakotas and Montana down to Oklahoma, Texas, Colorado, Tennessee. They ran these drives. A lot of times when they're moving a ranch, that's the best way to do it, is run the drive. I can move 200 head of cattle easier on a cattle drive than I can by truck. A cattle drive is probably one of the most deadliest sports that's out there. So you're out in the middle of nowhere. You're out in the elements. You have predators that are hunting you. You have predators that are hunting your cattle. Your cattle get spooked easy. You may get gored by a bull. You have tempers that flare, so you end up losing your crew. All kinds of things that happen on a cattle drive. But the greatest thing that happens with a cattle drive is the memories. Because of the memories, they last for a lifetime. Everything to the chuck wagon that serves you the meals, to the time around the campfire passing the bottle of whiskey. You could truly call yourself, you could take a person that has never left the house and played video games all day. Take them down to one of these ranches. Put them on a horse for a cattle drive. Those cattle drives last about 3 weeks to 2 months. By the time that kid comes off of that horse, he will learn the one thing that Curly said in Cowboy Way. But he will turn into a man. A woman would turn into, what do you want to call it, a tomboy. A woman would be stronger. She would be able to defend herself even better than what they would in the traditional manner. But a cattle drive brings the best out in you so that you can be able to survive and help that cattle survive. Your mind becomes clearer, and it's just how it is. It's just amazing. And once you run that cattle in, and when you're done, the adrenaline rush, it takes you through at least 2 weeks to get to finish the drive after it's done. Because all your thoughts and everything that's compiled inside of your mind, a lot of people write about it. A lot of people dream about it. A lot of people have stories to tell. So that's the cattle drive. And most of those are extinct. A lot of the things that are popping up now, especially out of the old ghost towns, people are recreating an old western town. Kind of like a movie set. Kind of like if you were doing Back to the Future. Kind of like if you were doing something from a John Wayne or a Clint Eastwood movie, where it has the saloons, the banker, the sheriff, all that other good stuff. You stay in the hotel, and, well, you experience life in the Old West. You stay out on the ranch, you help out on the ranch, you can help out in the mercantile, and you visit and you learn the qualities of the Old West. Of course, they're going to throw in the fun stuff in, like the gunslingers and the raiders and the dancing girls and everything else that has to do with it. But they want you to have that experience. But a true western town would probably have very little electricity. So if you're planning on bringing your phone to plug in, probably going to be charging inside of your car. Or maybe your solar charger. The thing is, you don't really need to have your phone. It's a place to get unplugged. It's a place to reenact and learn. Let's see here. The other one that I have on, oh, this one here. Now, I've seen it happen during my lifetime. And it was on an off year that they did this. It wasn't on an anniversary year, I don't think. But they had a reenactment of the Oregon Trail. Or it came from Independence, Missouri, or some other place where the Oregon Trail started. They actually had the covered wagons and the stagecoaches, and it made it all the way across country. All the way up to Seaside. And they blazed the entire Oregon Trail. They went and followed the exact, anything that they had with maps and coordinates. And they made it all the way down. They even took and ran chains and ran them up Laurel Hill. Just to experience life on the Oregon Trail. But I don't think anybody died of dynasty. So, that was something that everybody was grateful for. So, there we have it, the Oregon Trail. The next big anniversary for that, I believe, was when Oregon turned its statehead in about 1850. I don't know when it was turned into a territory. So the anniversary when it became a territory, I think, was about 1830. So that's probably coming up. So if you're watching this and you're really interested in the Oregon Trail, I would keep your eyes and ears peeled. Because at 200 years, that's quite a milestone. And that would be quite a ride if they would do another reenactment of the Oregon Trail. But if not, it's going to be extinct forever. But there's been rumors of creating a bike run where you can take motorcycles and recreate it. But they got to get permission from farmers. A lot of it's going across farmlands. One of them, I believe, is across a U.S. military installation. But that's another story for that. Even though I think the Oregon Trail would be fun to do. But the last one is the one that I'll probably end up giving you a warning on. And there's plenty of them around, and it's called a dude ranch. Now, a lot of dude ranches are fun. You go in, you horseback ride, you do some minor chores, you learn how to rope, you learn how to milk a cow, and you live life on a farm. Live life on a ranch. And some people pay a lot of money for this. But sometimes it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Some dude ranches will charge you $1,000 for a whole week. And you go in there and you're laboring from the time you get up till the time you get off. You have about 2 or 3 hours, and they said, oh, this is to show you what life on a ranch is. This is to show you the life, what life on a farm is. And they keep feeding that into you. They don't give you any fun. You reap the benefits from the food and stuff, but no. They're just taking your money and making you work for free. Some dude ranches, you're going to have to say, well, you're going to be mucking stalls. You'll be taking care of the animals. Well, that's part of the experience. But if you're working from sun up to sundown, there's something wrong. Take a look at the reviews. Don't look at the positive reviews. When you're doing a Old West simulation, you want to read all the reviews. If you have a western town or a ghost town that has extremely terrible reviews. Oh, it's so dirty here. Oh, the food is bland. Oh, there's no electricity. You found the right place. So, has anybody here ever thought about doing an Old West vacation? Have you ever taken a unique vacation or an unusual vacation? Let me know in the comment section below. And like usual, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss another video. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think about this video. And until next time, keep on walking.